Vediamo. Sto cercando di ricordare un po' di gente.
Ok, tu dimmi quando.
Sì, sì.
Ah, sì.
prodotto come fa. Senza arrivare. Ok, cominciamo.
Ok,
Intanto Lorenzo arriva per quindi la selezione.
no, no, lo...
Ah, okay. Okay, so let's start. Welcome all to Wines of Italy Lab, and tonight we'll have. I'm Caterina, and tonight we'll have as guest Lorenzo Sieni from Montefiorale. Ciao, ciao Jason. We will have Lorenzo Sieni as a guest from Montefiorale Winery, close to Chianti. And he will talk a bit about his winery and also his role in his appearance sommelier association. So if you start talking a bit about who you are and your winery and where it's located.
Okay, so our winery is a very small winery. Can you hear me?
Yes, a bit.
I'm hearing a very big echo.
Yes. Well, try to speak. I hear you a bit.
My family own the winery since 1964, when my grandfather started to make wine. We have only 5 acres of vineyards. Montefiorale is located south to Florence, and the capital of the river. The production is very good. Only 800 of this, about 10,000 per year. So it's a very our main production is wine, of course. We use two typology, the regular and classic. We have also a small production of another wine. It's not because it is different varieties, and small quantity, just a few of Vinsanto. That is a sweet wine.
But perhaps if you log out and then you come in again, because it's very echo.
Yeah,
Cioè sparisce ogni tanto, magari te lo chiudi e rientri.
and enter again and select a different.
Sì, provi a chiudere e rientrare. Ma lo fai da Chrome? Sorry, he's coming back. It's just...
Can you hear me better now?
We had some echo problems, so it's coming back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's much better.
Yeah, I changed the microphone.
Ah, okay.
Okay, now is the webcam microphone that is working. Okay.
Okay. So you were saying that you do, for the newcomers, you were saying that you do a Chianti Classico, a more Super Tuscan variant, and the Vincent.
Yeah, actually, I don't like so much the word Super Tuscan.
No.
Yeah.
Just to make them understand more.
Everyone who call our IGT Super Tuscan, I don't like so much, because Super Tuscan is a word that doesn't exist. Is a word invented by some Americans during the 70s, a journalist that wanted to define typology of wine that has no the word Super Tuscan in the label. So I prefer to call my other wine IGT, so the real the denomination.
Okay, but I wanted an explanation, because people here define it normally as a Super Tuscan, I guess.
Yeah, because you have to know that at the end of the 70s or during the 80s, many producers in Tuscany started to make new wines, maybe using international varieties, or maybe using 100% of Sangiovese that at that time was not allowed to make in Chianti Classico. So they had to use a different denomination, because Chianti Classico was not allowed, and they had to use a lower denomination, for example, table wine or IGT.
Yes.
And was very difficult to explain to abroad that a lower denomination like table wine or IGT was more expensive than DLCG, for example, Chianti Classico. So to explain this better, some journalists invented the word Super Tuscan.
True. Yes, Daniele, we have a bit of echo here, but it's better now than before, so I hope it's okay.
Maybe if I stay here, you can...
I hear well now, so I don't know. Because before you had more echo, but now it's okay for me.
Okay.
So let's... so we were talking about your winery, and then we entered the Super Tuscan. So what is special about the Montefiorale area? With Sebastiano Capponi, we talked a bit about the typical traits of the Montefiorale.
Yeah. Actually, our area is very close to Montefiorale, because our vineyard is just close to the town. Montefiorale wines are maybe a little bit less strong than other area in the Chianti Classico region, but they are elegant. For example, the aromas on the other side of the valley of Greve, gives wine that are very rich in fruits aromas. In Monteferralle, there are many flowers in the bouquet of the aromas of the wine. And the tannins, too, are a little bit smoother than the other areas of the Chianti region. I think that these differences can give the identity of the wine of Monteferralle.
Okay, so you also founded this association for viticoltori typical for Monteferralle, no?
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. We joined the association. The association was an idea of Sebastiano Capponi of Villa Calcinaia, but it is a very nice project, and now we have just started, but I hope that we can reach many pulpos, and it will be a great thing.
Okay, for those of the people who has never been to Monteferralle, you also had a sort of wine festival or wine event, no? That was the first time last year.
Yes, in the fourth weekend of September, we have the wine festival. Maybe you can check on the website of the association. And it's very nice. It is possible to taste all the product of all the wineries of the association.
And what is the aim of this association? I mean, is it to, if you explain it in relation to the consortium of the Chianti Classico?
Okay, the consortium is the consortium of all the wineries that produce Chianti Classico in the area. It is the consortium can preserve the quality and the typicalness of the wine. For example, it is important to have many rules to preserve the typicalness. For example, to make Chianti Classico is an 80% of Sangiovese, the main varieties of Tuscany, the most important varieties of Tuscany, must be used in the wine. And this is important to preserve the typicalness of the wine, because in the same region, using different varieties, we have a very different product. And the consortium at the same time can guarantee the quality, because before every bottling, all the wineries must present their samples to the consortium that check the quality of the wine and say if the wine is good enough to be a Chianti Classico or not.
No, it's me who put questions. Don't worry. Just for the people who follow.
Okay.
Okay. So the association for the Montefiore can be said to be a sort of subcategory or sub-association of the consortium.
I didn't understand. Sorry.
You hear me? No. So the association of the Montefiorani viticoltori could be said to be a sort of sub-association of the consortium.
No. I can't hear you, Tata. Try to write. No, I think not, because it's an independent association. So on the opposite could be a thing that can have power to say something to the consortium, because every small winery has no power to bring their ideas to the consortium, but together with an association of small wineries, maybe we can get more from the consortium.
Okay. Do you hear me now? No. You don't hear me.
Yeah, now, yeah.
Okay. No, I just wanted to have it explained. So, if you talk more about your winery, because I was thinking about if you talk about the categories of wine from Annata, because there's a new pyramid, no, from the Annata to the Riserva and Castrazione, no?
Okay, yeah. There are three typology of Chianti Classico. The first is the regular, called Annata, Chianti Classico Base, or actually the real name is Chianti Classico, and is a wine that doesn't have many requirements except to be grown in the Chianti Classico region and to pass some quality tests. And this is our regular product. The Riserva is a higher quality of Chianti Classico. For example, for our Chianti Classico Riserva, we use only the best grape of the year from the oldest vine. On these vines, we reduce the yield. We leave on the vine only 4 or 5 bunches of grape per plant. So reducing the quantity, the quality increase. And we use only the oldest vine for Riserva. On a regular vine for to produce a regular Chianti Classico, we leave on the vine 7-8 bunches of grape per plant. On the vine for the Riserva, only 4 and 5. Okay. And for the Gran Selezione, that is the highest category of Chianti Classico, we leave on the vine only 3 bunches of grapes.
Okay.
And
but do you make a Gran Selezione?
We started to make Gran Selezione in 2013 because it was the year that the consortium introduced these new typologies. But many wineries decide to bottle some previous vintage as Gran Selezione, and it was possible. So many wineries started to label some Chianti Classico as a Gran Selezione with the vintage 2010. But maybe they simply relabeled the Riserva that was ready for the market. They relabeled it as Gran Selezione. With my family, on the opposite, we decided to start from the vineyard. So in 2013, we selected a small portion of our vineyard, and now we have 1 barrel of Gran Selezione, about 300 of bottles that they are going to bottle in July. And I think we released the first Gran Selezione in the market in 2017.
Okay. So for those of you who doesn't know, how long do you age sorry. How long do you have the Riserva?
Sorry?
You don't hear me. How long do you age the Riserva?
Riserva? What? Riserva? Right is better. The Riserva, okay. How long we age? Allora, the aging of our wines, all our wines stay the first year in still tanks, and then we move them in the barrel. The regular Chianti Classico stays in barrel for 12 months. And Riserva and Gran Selezione 24 months. So we are going to bottle in July the Chianti Classico 2014, the Riserva 2013, and the Gran Selezione 2013.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? No. Ora?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Mi senti un po'?
Sì, un po' ti sento, un po' scatti.
Okay. Anything else you want to add about the different categories of wine? No. Lo scrivo, dai.
No, I think that is enough, except for one thing. The winery in the consortium are asking for the menzione geografica aggiuntiva, that in English will be additional geographic word on the label. So wineries wanted to identify the region where the Chianti Classico is produced. This is the reason, one of the reason of the Association of Viticoltori of Monteferralle. This is because we are asking to have the word Monteferralle in the label. In our case, it's very complicated because it's the same name of the winery and it is the same name of the village, and it will be also the name of the terroir near Monteferralle.
Okay. Ok, so mi senti? No. Senti qualcosa?
Sì, ti sento un po' a scatti.
Ah, ok. Se torniamo a parlare dei vostri vini, fate con il Santo, no?
Il Vinsanto?
Fate anche un Vinsanto.
Ah, sì, ok. Ok, about the Vinsanto. The Vinsanto is a sweet wine, so a desert wine that we produce with white varieties, Trebbiano and Malvasia. We pick this grape and we bring them in a room, and we hang the grape. Maybe if you visit our website, you can see the picture in very, very nice. It is not possible to add pictures in Blab. Yeah. Okay. So it is because all other typology of dried grapes in Italy are usually made under the sun, but the grape of Vinsanto dries in a room, so it takes a long time, 3 months instead of 10-15 days under the sun. But during this time is the fall in Chianti, and the grape can catch all the aromas of the autumn. And in December, when the grapes are almost resins, we press the grape, and we get the juice. The concentration of sugar is very high because a lot of water is gone. Then we put the juice in a barrel, we close the barrel hermetically, and we wait for years. And these barrels are not in the cellar, but they are under a roof. So this barrel suffer the cold in the winter, and the fermentation stops. It's very warm in the summer, and the fermentation stops. In this way, fermentation starts and stops every a lot of time, and the fermentation is under pressure, and in this very difficult condition, only the best yeast survived. And this typology of yeast can transform even 16% of alcohol. So the final results is a wine that is sweet because some sugar remain. The alcohol content is higher, and the wine is not more white. it has an amber color. This is because the oxidation. In the moment that the fermentation is not running, from the wood of the barrel, the oxygen came inside and let the wine oxidated. And it's a wine that is good for cookies. We here in Tuscany we use with the cantuccini or cookies from Prato. But a good pairing is also with blue cheese, because the sweetness of the wine can balance the aggressive taste of the blue cheese, and that's my favorite pairing.
Really? So if we go back to the pairing now, if you would pair your other wines, what food would you pair them with?
Pairing the other wines?
Did you hear anything? The other wines, your red wines, what would you pair them with? What would be your favorite pairings?
Okay, I can a good match for our Chianti Classico. I think that is pasta with meat sauce. This is the best pairing. I think maybe with sauce of wild dog or other meat. For our Chianti Classico Riserva, maybe is better the meat without pasta, because the wine is stronger. So maybe a roasted pig or other typology of meat. I think that Chianti Classico is very, I don't know, how can I say, versatile in English.
You can use it for many different kinds of food.
Yeah.
Versatile. How do you say? You can use it for a lot of different food, no? Say, how do you say it in English? Daniela, how do you say versatile?
Anyway, you can use you can drink Chianti Classico with many typology of food, because it's not so hefty like Brunello or Cabernet or Merlot. So it's very easy to drink in your meal every day.
And your is it a good summer wine?
No, I think that Chianti Classico is a good wine for from October to May, not for the summer, because drinking Chianti Classico at 25, 30 Celsius degrees is too much. So I think that for summer is better champagne.
True. Any other questions? I don't know if you hear me, so I write. We also have Livia here now. So, if we go over to talk a bit about your role in the Fiesta Firenze, the Sommelier Association in Florence.
Che devo dire?
Did you hear me?
What about FISA?
If you talk a bit about the Fiesta Firenze in Florence and its role in Florence for sommeliers.
Right, please. Okay, now maybe Fisa is not so interesting from people who live abroad, but anyway, it's an association of sommelier, so people who love the wine. So I'm in this moment the chairman of this association till 2018. And we try to find several ways to drink wine, and this is the truth. I think that there are some of my friends that say you are an association of drunk people with say sommelier just to don't say too much bad, but the truth is that we love the wine, and we find many occasions to learn more about the wine and drink it. Please.
The Classico consortium.
Okay, the consortium is a way, I told before, to preserve the quality and the typicalness of the wine. In this case, the Chianti Classico. With the consortium, so all the producer consortium is an association of all the producer of the Chianti Classico wineries, and we decide together the rules to preserve the typicalness. For example, choosing on at least the 80% of Sangiovese. For example, this is a rule to preserve the typicalness of the wine. And there are other typology of rules to preserve the quality. For example, there is a limit of the yield per acre. We cannot produce a lot of grape, because a lot of grape means bad quality grapes. So setting a limit for the total yield per acre, we can preserve the quality. So there are many rules also to preserve the quality. And the consortium, there is some inspectors of the consortium that before the bottling came at the winery, take some sample and bring them one in a laboratory for chemical analysis. And to be a Chianti Classico, many values must be in a certain range. For example, acidity, alcohol content, and a lot of other stuff. And the other sample goes in a blind wine testing of expert that they decide if the Chianti, the sample is good enough to be a Chianti Classico or not. And this is the consortium. Now there is many people that talk not so good about the consortium, because especially small wineries like our think that they are not so represented, because the big wineries have more power in the consortium, and that's true. but anyway, we are trying to have to talk together and find a good solution for everything that could work for small and big wineries.
Okay. Leggi?
Sì, la casa del Chianti, casa Chianti Classico.
Sì,
Okay. Sì, no, okay. Now the consortium in the past 3 years has a public place where organize in the summer a lot of events for tourists and people who love this typology of wine, and there are many different dinner with different producer, a lot of aperitif, and a lot of events to promote and introduce the wineries to public. And I think it's a very nice idea. The only problem that is that this place, the house of Chianti Classico, or Casa Chianti Classico in Italy, is in the middle of the Chianti region, and it's not so easy to reach because it's very far from Florence, it's very far from Siena. So it's not so easy to have a lot of people.
True, that's very true. Any other questions? I don't know if you hear me, so I'll write. Ma qualcosa sentite? No.
Sì, a volte sì, a volte no.
Ok. Se si vuole trovare i tuoi link, dove si possono trovare adesso?
My wines abroad. No, our production is so small. We produce only 10,000 of bottles per year, 800 of cases. So we sell only to private people. We have a few wine shops and restaurants of the area between Montefiorale and Florence. We serve these wine shops or restaurants because the owners usually are a friend of mine. But we don't have any other middleman, distributor or importer or we are able to ship in many countries. For example, the 85% of our wine go to the United States. To people that come in at the winery to visit us, they have a wine tasting, and we ship their home. It is possible also to buy our wine from our website, but I think it's not. This is the place not for make some advertising. So it's okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Any other questions? C'è l'eco, non so che cosa c'è stasera. Qualcosa che vuoi aggiungere?
Boh, I think that I don't know. Maybe a lot of the people who is in this blog today lives abroad. So
Yes.
okay, there is
A question. How are sales?
The sales are increasing, especially abroad. After the bad year of Chianti Classico, I think during the 80s and the 90s, now I think that the brand Chianti Classico is now in a good reputation. So every year the sales are increasing, but abroad, not in Italy. In Italy, the people used to drink less wine every year. So in Italy, it's very hard to sell more wine than the previous year. And about how long you can store a Chianti Classico in yourself. Depends of the winery. I can talk about my Chianti Classico. I suggest to drink our Chianti Classico after 5-6 years after the harvest, to pick it at its best moment, at its peak. Our Riserva, Chianti Classico Riserva, I think that you can keep for more time, about 8-10 years after the harvest. The best wines of Italy. It's very difficult to say. I can say mine, but it's not true. There is not only, there are many good wines in Italy, and the best way is to try, to taste, and decide. Every person has his personal preferences. It's not possible to say that a wine is better than another. Yeah, yes, because La Divina Enoteca is writing that they are gonna try our wine because we are on the next May 20, I think. We organized a vertical tasting of our Chianti Classico Riserva. There are many vintages from 1985 to 2010, 2012. I don't remember. Anyway, it will be very interesting.
Okay. Anybody else who has any questions? I don't know if you hear me. Probably not.
How old are you, Ryan? Okay. Allora, before the varieties, our main variety is Sangiovese. Sangiovese is about the 90% of our beer. We have also some vines of Canaiolo and Colorino. They are other two grape varieties of the Chianti region. And during the 80s, my father planted also just a few vines of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot that we use for our IGT, the Super Tuscan wine. And we have also some white varieties, Trebbiano and Malvasia, for our sweet wine, the Vinsanto. The oldest part of our vineyard is 52 years old, because it was planted by my grandfather in 1964. And now we are going to plant another 2.5 acres this spring. So there are many different parts with different age.
Okay. Thanks, Gregory. Any other questions that you want to ask to Lorenzo before we end the blab today? Anything else you want to know about the Chianti Classico? I don't know if you hear me, but so I think we're at the same time. This is a disaster. Okay, so if you do not have any other questions, we can end it here today. We thank you, Lorenzo.
Prego.
And as usual, you don't hear me, so... Okay, so I thank you, Lorenzo, and I don't know if you hear me. And I think it's only Lorenzo always, the guest is the only one who doesn't hear me. So I thank Lorenzo, I thank all of you who was here today. We were quite a lot of people, and for all your questions. And next Tuesday will be in Italy, so there will be no blab. So we will be back on the 19th of May with Livio from La Divina Enoteca that you can see here is participating. It's Bianca tonight, and we will have a guest from Istina, which is in Rada in Chianti. She's called Angela. She's the owner of Istina Winery in Rada in Chianti. No, it was fine. It was fine. Do you hear me anything, Lorenzo?
Qualcosa.
Vabbè, comunque grazie per essere qui oggi. Thanks to everybody, and I think we end it here because there's no more questions. I think Lorenzo has said what he needed to say. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, Lorenzo. Ciao, ciao, ciao.